Hello and welcome to the December edition of Uniper's Market Insights. My name is Florian Oberländer, and on my side, I'm very happy to welcome our Chief Analyst, Gregor Pett. Hi, Gregor.
Hi, Florian. Good to see you again.
Good to see you too. And we have a lot of topics to discuss today. We will talk about the UN climate conference that's currently held in Dubai. We will discuss the meeting between Joe Biden and Xi Jinping in San Francisco a couple of weeks ago. And something that I'm very excited about, we will host our first guest today and talk to him a little bit about portfolio management and trading. But we will start with the current status of the gas markets. Gregor, can you bring us up to speed what's currently going on here?
Yeah, the situation, as we discussed it last time, in principle has not changed. So it's still relatively well supplied. The storage levels are above 90% in Europe. And the brief cold period we've had last week in Germany is mainly over, which means then it's relaxing. Again, also the prices have been relatively relaxed and are decreasing as we speak. So the summary of it is if nothing breaks, if all the supplies remain as they are, we will have no problem during this winter.
Okay, that sounds good. How about LNG? Is that a factor?
We get good supplies of LNG in Europe, and that's despite the fact that prices in Asia have risen. So they are much higher than in Europe right now. So the differential between those markets has significantly increased, but still we get all the LNG in Europe that we've ordered. And although some more is going to Asia, there's no doubt, no questions that we get the LNG we need for the time being. Of course, many of these cargoes have been basically pre-ordered, if you want, before that differential rose. Yeah.
Okay, so even if we get colder temperatures beginning of next year, supply situation looks good. And how would it affect moving into the summer period?
Yeah, as I said, it's if the situation remains, then also filling the storage will not in summer will not be such a big problem. But we need stable supplies as previously. So that's the precondition that everything works well.
Okay, yeah, and of course, something that we discussed here in this format a lot of times over the last couple of months are the geopolitical situations that sometimes cause prices to spike, even though it has nothing to do with the fundamental situation or the supply situation. And here to discuss this with a little bit more into detail is Holger Fleckenstein from Uniper Market Solutions. Hi, Holger.
Hi, Florian. Hi, Gregor. I'm very happy to be with you today.
Good to see you too. And Uniper Market Solutions offers various services to our customers. One of the main ones is the management of gas and power portfolios for the customers, meaning that you kind of buy and sell or trade on behalf of the customer, depending on their risk appetite. So when you see these price spikes that have nothing to do with the fundamental situation, how do you explain these and how do you deal with it at Market Solutions?
Yeah, in the past few months, we have recognized that in addition to fundamental influences, market sentiment has played a significant role in shaping the market. Fears and concerns, especially as we approach the winter season, have become prevalent, contributing to apprehensions about a cold and problematic winter potentially. This increased the sensitivity of the market to negative, respectively bullish news. And therefore, minor technical issues with pipelines or LNG terminals, for example, changing weather forecasts, as well as the alarming reports of the geopolitical escalations in the Middle East, have led to immediate price increases. And as you already mentioned, Gregor, the increased importance of LNG in the supply mix let the focus on gas become much more global this time. However, we have to say that the underlying fundamental situation has not confirmed all these concerns so far this winter period. Consequently, the price spikes were very short-lived within the context of an overall downtrend. And all in all, we can say markets remain really challenging for all of us. These developments naturally create uncertainty also among our customers. We, as portfolio managers at Uniper Market Solutions, stand on our client side, assisting them maintaining a broader perspective, keeping a cool head in decision making and minimizing risks. And ultimately, all these market developments also present opportunities, and we are helping our customers to seize them.
What do you mean precisely with opportunities there?
In order to survive in volatile energy markets, it's important, I would say, at first, to have a clear objective. Second, it's important to understand the market drivers. And the third point is you have to have a clear trend expectation for the markets. And in addition, you should be also prepared to react on all eventualities, including unlikely scenarios. And with that, we think that a longer-term risk diversification combined with a short-term tactic based on the current market trend is a very good approach for that.
Okay, sounds very interesting, definitely. Where can people find out more or find out what other services you offer?
Yeah, that's easy. For those who would like to know more about Uniper Market Solutions, feel free to get in touch with us. Further information and contact details can be found on the Uniper website.
All right, and I will make sure, depending on what platform you are watching or listening to Uniper's Market Insights, that I will put down the corresponding link as well. And otherwise, a quick Google search will do, or you find it under uniper.energy. So, Holger, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. You're welcome.
All right. Very interesting, isn't it, Gregor?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Holger, for joining today.
So let's move on to the next topic, Gregor. I mentioned it earlier. The UN Climate Conference is currently going on in Dubai. Close to 200 nations are on site discussing the climate. Even though by the time of the recording, we just have a few days left of the conference, so we cannot report on the direct outcome. Is there currently already some trend that's developing, or are there any notes that you would like to share with us?
Yeah, indeed. The conference is approaching the finishing line, and we can already say right now that the initial announcement of the funds that are created to basically pay for damage that is done according to climate change has been it's been well received. So that was basically deferred from the last conference. So that was to have that on the first day. So that was really a good results. On the other hand, it becomes increasingly clear that it's difficult to reach the 1.5 degree target, which is clearly not good news. That it becomes more and more difficult. On the other hand, of course, we have a still support from main countries, including the US and China, which are the biggest emitters in the world, to a climate reduction and to, in particular, an increase in renewable energy sources, which is clearly very, very important. It's a very, very important precondition to fight climate change. So that is encouraging, although it is, of course, not, we are not there what we need, but it's encouraging.
Yeah, I think one of the key takeaways for me personally, when you look at the positive side, is that they estimate that the emission peak will be reached in 25 now, I think 2 years earlier than expected. And from there on, emissions should decrease again. So I think that's one positive note from the conference there as well. But let's stay with China and the US for a minute here, because you already mentioned, they are one of the biggest polluters or emission creators. On the one hand, we see the states that have over the last year decreased their emissions. On the other hand, we see China increasing it. Now, a couple of weeks ago, Joe Biden and Xi Jinping met in San Francisco, not only to discuss climate topics, but also to talk political topics. But one of the points on there was a kind of an energy agreement, which said that, you know, they will support the efforts to triple renewable energy by 2030. What is this agreement all about, especially keeping in mind that, you know, they emit this kind of CO2?
Yeah, when we talk about energy, this meeting was very important from at least two perspectives. One is that they confirmed that climate change and battling climate change is still on the agenda, and with the agreement on increasing the use of renewable energy paved, if you want, the way also towards COP28. So that's one perspective. The others, of course, that's probably geopolitically even more important, is that they agreed basically to restart the communications between the military, between both countries, which significantly reduces the risk that of a military conflict in case that would come up by accidents and so on. So they did that. They discontinued that almost a year ago, and it's now very important that they have reinstated it. And the reason is that when they agree on something like that, they also reduce the tension on this side. So the possibility then also to battle climate change and to look at that is so simply there can be more focus on climate change if this geopolitical tension is a little bit weakened. On the other hand, of course, we need to be realistic. The conflict of interest between two countries is not going away, but everything that calms down the conflict is, of course, highly welcome also from an energy and climate perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm hopeful that it was a good foundation for the conference right now in Dubai. So let's see what the outcome will be there. I hope we can report on this in the next episode. But let's stay with China for a second, because when we look at this kind of agreement and we take a look at the statistics and the numbers, I mean, they, you know, have, I think, 4% more emissions than in the previous year. They import coal on a record level. They're green lighting so many coal generation projects. I think it's 6 times what the worldwide projects green lighting is at this point. How serious can we take this kind of agreement?
That's a very important question. We need to be realistic when it comes to targets and priorities of the Chinese government. They also have goals where they think they also need yet to catch up with the Western countries when it comes to the per capita use of energy. So, which means then by installing this capacity and also coal capacity, they are basically in their perspective catching up with us. So while it's very, very encouraging that China is building out renewable energies at such a good pace, yeah, and also they are one of the leading, or if not the leading supplier of solar PV panels and also wind turbines, yeah. So if that really takes place and gets traction, that can really make a difference. But in the overall mix, yeah, they're also building coal capacity for the reasons I mentioned. So we have to really be realistic when expecting developments there and their priorities.
Okay. Yeah, understood. And not to forget, I mean, they are one of the biggest miners of lithium, which is also needed for battery technology. So this is important to them as well. So yeah. Of course, it has this kind of attractiveness then, you know, investing in renewable energies as well.
Yeah. And one last word on COP28. The last outstanding big topic is the use of fossil energy, and will COP28 ban that and come up with a commitment to phase out fossil energy. And that is a big outstanding issue for the last days of the conference.
Okay. Yeah, hopefully we have concrete measures to report on in the January episode. But for this year, I think we can wrap it up now. Gregor, thank you very much for this year and the market insights.
Thank you very much, Florian. It was a pleasure as always.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Looking forward to the new year as well with you. And also, let's not forget, thank you very much to you, Holger, for joining our show as the first Uniper Market Insights guest.
Yeah,
thank you.
Holger.
It was a pleasure.
Thanks very much for joining this afternoon.
And to you out there, of course, we wish you happy holidays and have a good start into the next year, where we hope that you will join our next Uniper Market Insights as well then. Until then, see you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.